Again, Andrew Bynum is out. This is the 4th of his 4-game suspension, going back to last year with the flagrant foul in the playoffs in the second round against J.J. Barea.
Big shoes to fill, especially with Phil Jackson in the 11 championships. But Mike Brown is up to the task. You're inheriting a very talented ball club. It's gone through a little bit of a flux with the Lamar Odom trade to Dallas and so forth, but he's very prepared. We talked about him dotting the I's and crossing the T's, and this team is very prepared. It's a different change than the Phil Jackson era with the triangle offense, more of a traditional offense.
And Carmelo Anthony with the closeout by Ebanks and a triple by Melo. So the Knicks have thrown up 3 threes. They've hit 2 of them.
You don't have to call any plays for them. You're going to do all the little hustle things. Second shots, loose balls, diving on the floor. Second-year player Devin Ebanks, but now you're going to come in with Meta World Peace, which if I'm Carmelo Anthony, I'm not quite sure about, because if I'm Carmelo, I'm approaching this game thinking I want the second-year player out there as long as possible because I'm going to be able to get to any spot I want because he doesn't know my game. And when you get him in foul trouble and he goes to the bench and you're bringing in a former defensive player in the year and a guy who's very familiar with you in Meta World Peace, well, now your offensive shot selections are going to drop a little bit.
Who's been a defensive player of the year, and even though he is, in his 13th season and he's 32 years of age, Anthony 1 of 2 and drives it inside.
Well, I think we got to get a lot of downhill penetration and just open up the lane. Let Tyson catch some lobs. Amari get in the sweet spot and take a lot of the pressure off of Melo, having to do a lot of other things. Just get them easy baskets, get us out in transition, and, the rest is history.
Don, thanks a lot. We look forward to your return. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, Bryant just picked up his second. Before that, Carmelo picked up his second. We can watch it again. Carmelo now with 11. Leading all scores. And picking up on Craig's conversation with Baron Davis, there are some injury issues with this point guard position in the Knicks. Shumpert, we've already talked about the rookie. He's out 2 to 4 weeks. Sprained knee. All rotation. Douglas. Carmelo, that is a 3-point try. Hits it over Barnes. And Carmelo Anthony has gone 4 of 5, 14 points in 14 minutes for the Knicks.
Did you say 82 or 72?
In the quarter.
Wow.
They're shooting a 72 for the game.
That's unbelievable.
82% for the quarter. Points removed by Carmelo. 16 for Anthony.
Delay of game.
Defense, let's go. Come on, let's go.
We talked about the 2 most, in my mind, prolific scorers in our game. And you probably could put Dwayne Wade in there as well, but when you're talking about an array of moves, I went to Twitter earlier and I asked the fans, who is the better scorer over the last 6 years?
Of course, that free throw line has been their friend. Rotating over, Anthony. Right to the cup and puts it in, makes it a 10-point game. Final seconds with yet another rebound. He's got 9 with his 9 points. Ahead they go. And Carmelo sneaking behind the curtain and fouled on the play. And that was on Matt Barnes. Grew up in Sacramento, went to UCLA. As the season go on, we'll find far more regularity with the games. What have you seen? You've watched a lot of games on TV, watched a lot of tape, and this is our second consecutive Laker game. Any trends you're seeing coming out of the lockout with the shortened preseason, the shortened training camps by all the teams?
Definitely, with most of the teams, your defense is ahead of your offense because it's going to take a while offensively for guys to get in sync and get on the same page and rhythm. So that's why your defense is normally ahead of your offense. But another thing, the injuries and the slow, especially with some of the older teams like Boston, and we watched tonight with Dallas. When you've got players that are 30 plus, it's a little bit difficult for them to get their motor running
and take shots outside the offense. But when he talks about getting older, that balance, I think, is an easier thing for him to achieve. When to be the aggressor, when to be like he is tonight, and then when to be a facilitator within this Laker offense.
But your mind can still stay sharp, and he understands where his strong suits are out on the floor. And I think that's what makes him so great, is his basketball IQ and how he approaches each and every game.
Defensive 3 on Kobe Bryant, and so that's why Melo took that shot. The other night, you and I did the Utah-Laker game here, and we had a lot of time to talk because it was a bad game. The Lakers won that contest. And as Volkman tries to locate someone down low, and again, working this ball deep into the shot clock, world peace reaching in. But you asked Mike Brown, who has had the chance, the unique opportunity to coach Tim Duncan in San Antonio.
And it was all basketball and very high basketball IQs and the way they approach the game. It's almost like chess. They are 2-3 steps ahead of their opponents, and sometimes that can get you in trouble, which it has with Kobe Bryant and his teammates, because he's thinking on an entirely different level than, say, a Matt Barnes or maybe a Metta World Peace. And sometimes you've got to rein that back. But when you've got a Tim Duncan and a LeBron James and a Kobe Bryant, you're a head coach. You're going to win, obviously, more games than you're going to lose.
Anthony is 6 of 11 with 23. Congested lane, and he finds his way through it. This is their biggest lead tonight. Carmelo scoops it home, 27.
And
Carmelo Anthony.
And what does winning like this do for Mike Brown?